Wait a minute. Drop the sound effects. Okay, he's not the Incredible Hulk. He is, however, Steve Gross from Chattanooga, and last week he was named Mr. Tennessee.
I worked 4 years for this particular title. This makes the fourth time I entered the contest, and I won, and so this is like another step towards something greater. What I don't know, maybe Mr. America, Mr. USA, or something like that.
Gross, who wrestled at UTC in 1975, holds several titles, including Mr. East Tennessee, Mr. Volunteer State, Mr. All-South, and Mr. Chattanooga in 1979. He can bench press 380 pounds, works out 6 days a week, 2 hours a day, but like a lot of people who exercise, says he gets bored.
Yeah, that's when I changed my routine. I add an exercise or drop an exercise, replace another exercise with a different one. But yeah, I changed mine up just to keep it, keep the staleness out.
It's a combination. I try to teach the people here good mental attitude, regularity, and clean up the diet, better nutrition. And that makes for a well-rounded program.
What kind of diet are you talking about here? I mean,
I think, as Steve was saying, a balance of protein, carbohydrates, and fats.
You know, I've heard people, like, they'll open up one of these men's magazine and they'll see the muscles and this and that, and the first thing they say, no pun intended, is they say, oh, gross. You know, some people do. Other people enjoy it. Do you ever think of that?
I just hope they say, oh, Steve Gross.
Hey, the women are into this bodybuilding thing, too, and next week we'll mosey on over to the ladies' side of the health spa. Steve Buckhantz, TV3 Sports, Chattanooga. The Lookouts are into their season full swing, and in case you didn't know it, their home, Ingalls Stadium, is chock full of tradition. You come out here on any given night, you can expect to see at least 3 things. 1, an exciting minor league baseball game. 2, a future superstar. And 3, Ernest Baggett.
Hey, come here up! You won't last long like that.
Ernest Baggett is your average baseball fan, but there's more. He's the guy with the loud mouth that you hear every so often screaming at the first base umpire.
I love to yell at those umps. They don't know what to do if you're not hollering at them.
Now, don't get him wrong. Baggett doesn't scream just for the heck of it. He honestly believes it's good for the game.
I have talked to all the umpires personally as they come through here and everything. We're just friends. They like to hear it. I like to holler at them. It gets the other crowd to holler. The umpire said it doesn't bother them, so why not have fun?
I've been here for 2 years, and he's been here every day I've been here. You know, he pays his money to get in, and he enjoys his hasslement of umpires, and that's part of it. You know, if you can't take that, then you don't belong in the game.
Yeah, he's in trouble. He'll hear from me before the night's over.
Baggett hasn't missed many games since the return of minor league ball to Chattanooga, but toe surgery last season kept him away from the park 4 times. How can a toe keep you from yelling at the umps? His friends say it was that dreaded disease, foot and mouth. Steve Buckhantz, TV3 Sports, Ingalls Stadium. Most people would consider it inhumane to fire away at pigeons, but the clay kind have made Matt Drake a nationally known figure. Drake is a 21-year-old member of the U.S. Army stationed currently at Fort Benning, Georgia. But growing up on the range, so to speak, has made him one of the top skeet shooters in the country.
Well, I started out younger with BB guns, and when I was about 7, I started shooting a 12-gauge and skeet and trap. And my father he built a skeet range, and he runs a skeet and trap range. Spent, thousands of dollars on shells and clay targets. And that's how you get good, practice.
Drake competes under international rules, which are generally a little tougher than the American game, but he's been the top shooter in the country the last 2 years and hopes to make the Olympic team next week in San Antonio, Texas, even though we're not going to Moscow.
Definitely, the Olympics is what I was going for, and nothing can be as good as the Olympics. We definitely probably will not be going, at least as far as being in the military, but there will be alternate games somewhere to it won't be quite as good, but it'll be rewarding anyway.
Now, to be honest with you, I know as much about skeet shooting as I do about nuclear fission, but Drake says you shouldn't be shy about going out to the range.
People come out to the range, they think if they happen to miss one or something, everybody's going to say, ooh, well, this is a sport, that anybody can get into, that if they got good eyes and good reflexes.
Good eyes and good reflexes, huh? Pull. I don't think the Olympic team is in any great danger. Steve Buckhantz, Montlake Shooting Center, Hamilton County. The 1979 Atlanta Braves need all the help they can get. Much of it was supposed to come from rookie sensation Bob Horner at third base. But after a fine performance last season in only 89 games, Horner decided this year to ask for $300,000 a year, $200,000 more than owner Ted Turner was willing to pay.
You know, we've offered him an excellent contract. It's probably the most money ever paid a first-year player, and it seems as if it's not enough money, so I know it's going to hurt him, and it's going to hurt us, but particularly him. They say he would like to be down here. If he'd like to be down here, he'd be down here, so but he's not, and I don't look for him to be down here until after the arbitration, and I think they're going to arbitration sometime in mid-April, so that's into the season then, and that's no good for us.
The Braves' Jerry Maddox, who had his NCAA home run record at Arizona State shattered by Horner, feels the youngster is being a bit too greedy.
No, you know, if maybe if this year he does the same thing, hits the same at-bat home run ratio, well, maybe you're talking about some money next year. But still, then not even $300,000. It's still too much for a 22-year-old kid.
Enter rookie Mike Maha, played well for the Atlanta AAA farm team last year, and now a prime candidate to take Horner's spot at third base.
You know, I was going to come to spring training with the thought of trying to make myself a spot on the team, but the fact that Horner didn't show up left a spot open, and they kind of selected me to get the opportunity to fill the spot. And if everything goes okay, I think I'll be in Houston. $300,000 is a lot of money, and I'll be happy with the minimum.
So for now, little Bob Horner won't be in his corner. $250,000 Ted won't pay. And along comes Mike Maha and says, Bob, I got you. I'll play for $1 a day. Steve Buckhantz for NBC News with the Braves in West Palm Beach, Florida. From the Scott Stadium in Charlottesville, Virginia, this afternoon, exciting collegiate football action from WVPT. The Virginia Cavaliers meet the VMI Keydets. VMI and Virginia, both 1-2 on the season, both starting off a little bit slowly. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Steve Buckhantz, and with me, Steve Feynman, who has been around this area for quite some time, knows both teams rather well. And we are looking at the 73rd meeting between these two football teams, and it should be an interesting one. Of course, the Cavaliers, as you well know, coming off what is considered a big upset last week over Army up in New York, and it was a come-from-behind victory, one that Coach Dick Bestwick is very pleased with, Steve Feynman.
That's right. Bestwick should be very pleased with the result.
Second down, 11 to go. In motion is Savage. Clark back to pass, looks, he's got a man open, and it's almost picked off by number 12, Brian Schumacher. Good defensive play. It was intended for number 31, Sam Woolwine, but Brian Schumacher made a heck of a play, and I don't know whether it looked like he almost tried to bat it down. I mean, it was right in his hands. They've got Washington back there with Woolwine, so that may be why. The second man through is Washington, and he is going to squirm, and second effort, I believe, is going to get him the first down. What a run by Washington. As he was stopped at what looked to be the line of scrimmage, Kenny Newsom had him around the thighs, but he spun forward, and it is a Keydette first down. Nice effort by Mr. Washington.
Washington had actually run into his own offensive lineman that time and snuck around.
Filing comes out, and Andre Greer to this side. Top of your screen is Marcia Broda. Split backs. Mark back to pass. Good rush coming up the middle, and his arm was hit as he released the ball. It's going to be picked off back there by number 28, Mike Alston. Alston down the sideline to the 10, to the 5, and knocked out of bounds at the 3-yard line. And that will just about thwart any kind of a UVA hopes to enter into VMI territory. That changed hands about 3 different times before it was finally picked off by Alston. To Robbie Clark. Now they have to be careful not to take too much time. 1:14 left to go in the ball game. VMI leads at 10-9. There's the play. Hotstetter, and he's in for the touchdown. A round of golf is usually more of a lesson in humility, but there's nothing like going out and getting shackled by a 15-year-old high school student. Nita Drinnan is one of the better players on the GPS team. She doesn't compare herself with the guys, but she often beats them.
You know, if I go out and play my own game and just play the best I can, and if it's good enough to win, it wins, and if it's not, they're just better.
Yes, there's quite a bit of talk about it at home when it happens.
Women professional golfers have become quite prestigious over the last couple of years, and it can be a rather lucrative profession for the good ones. But could you imagine being 15 years old and looking ahead towards the pro tour?
She's hoping to go on and do some professional golf later on after college.
Sure would. That's what I'm trying to do, if I can just keep it up.
Play the pro game.
Yeah.
Would you say that at 15 years old you've accomplished what you set out to accomplish so far?
I think I've done just about, I could do a little better right now, I mean, but at times I did about as good as I expected to do.
Nita's parents are avid fans. In fact, they literally follow her all over the course. But her mother's not the type to try to force her into playing pro golf.
No, I'm not a pushy mother. It's up to her. Whatever she wants to do, I'm behind her 100%.
Nita Drinnan, a young Chattanoogan to keep your eyes on. Steve Buckhantz, TV3 Sports, Valley Brook Golf and Country.